Check, check one, check one, check one. www.thepaparay.com.
Very good evening and welcome to this live coverage of the Isipathana versus St. Thomas's match here at Havelock Park under lights, 6:30 in the evening. It's a very pleasant day. It's quite humid here at Havelock Park, but it's going to be an outstanding game by the looks of things. Just walking past the dressing rooms, and Isipathana are looking very G'd up for this. They're out here already by themselves, and St. Thomas's wait to be welcomed into the team, into the grounds rather, by their team, by their junior teams. And here they come now, the host team. 6:30 p.m. It's a great time to kick off, led by Hashaka Subasinghe. A St. Thomas's team that has been completely underperforming here in this A division that they've been newly promoted to. Having a few problems, losing a couple of senior players. Ranasinghe is back at scrum half for them, though. That should bolster them. He'll have to make a tremendous defensive effort today, that's for sure. Referee in charge of this game today, referee Dimitra Gunasekara, had a very good outing at the Bradby despite being under a tremendous amount of pressure. And Kongahawatta, the little fly half, will have the responsibility of getting this game underway. It's going to be an outstanding battle between the forwards of St. Thomas's and the backs of the Isipathana team as Kongahawatta makes an initial mistake. This is something, it's an area of the game they really need to improve on. Their set play kicking has not been the best, and that is something the coaches, especially Nilfa Ibrahim, will have to make sure he sorts out pretty quickly, because going into the business end of the season against teams like Kingswood and against teams like first scrum, not so good. Ranasinghe gives it away to the fly half, who puts in a good kick. Covering well is the Isipathana fullback, and doesn't find great touch. Doesn't find great touch, but it's something better than nothing. So good pressure, good tactical awareness first from the St. Thomas's team. They've always been starting well recently. But the first line of the game should go a little bit better than the first scrum of the game, hopefully. And it's well won in the middle of the line out at number 4 by St. Thomas's. Now they've got a rolling maul going. This is what they'll need to do better in order to beat this Isipathana team. That's a nice rolling maul. They're still going forward. Referee Dimitri has kept his hands down. So there's no advantage coming from that. St. Thomas's still have it available for them. This is good play by the Thomians. Still going. They've set it up again after the initial collapse, and that's very good technical awareness from them. Still going. They've rolled this 22 meters now. They're almost over the line, and the referee says, yes, they are over the line, and they've been held up. So they'll come back for the 5-meter scrum. So a good start for St. Thomas's. They needed this. They played a practice match against this same Isipathana team about 2 months ago and got absolutely annihilated. 40-odd points that the Thomians had against them that day, but they seem to have come back with renewed vigor today. So this scrum is all important. The first scrum didn't go as well as they would have liked it to. And watch for the number 8 coming in off the back here. But a pushover would be nice for the Thomian fans. But it's Anuranga Valpolo's forward 8 who have responded well this time, and they seem to have wheeled it. But referee Dimitra says play on, and the ball has squirted out. And touchdown by Jayasinghe in the in-goal area for Isipathana. And it was taken back by the green shirt, so it will be another 5-meter scrum. So good scrum there by the loose head prop for St. Thomas's. The tight head needs to do a little bit better on this side. So another solid scrum is what we can probably expect from the Thomians. They've moved their hooker back to number 8. Started the season off as hooker, so he's got new responsibilities here, and the penalty is forthcoming for collapsing in the front row. So that's the pressure already telling. Quickly taken by the number 8. Good defense by Isipathana at that time. Driven back in the tackle, but St. Thomas's still have it. Isipathana have got to be careful not to concede penalties here as they're under pressure early on in the game. Ranasinghe gives it out this time. Was that the right decision? This is Hashaka, the captain, taken down in midfield by some good defense by Isipathana. And knocked forward by the Thomian captain, so Isipathana will have some respite. And despite winning that penalty, I think it was a little bit of a rush of blood to the head by the Thomians. They should probably have gone for another scrum, because they knew they had the Thomians, had the Isipathanians under pressure in the scrum, and that was something they should have exploited. That is something that they should really have exploited here, and now they will want to try and put this Isipathana scrum under tremendous pressure, but a good hit from the Pathanians. Like I said, Anuranga Valpola has been in charge of this forward pack, a vastly experienced forward, played his rugby at Isipathana in 2002 in that very, very good side that produced so many Sri Lanka players. And since then he played for CRNFC, Kandy and Sri Lanka, so he's played under some very good coaches in all those clubs and knows exactly how to sort things out in this front row. So it was a great hit from the Isipathanians in that attacking scrum for them. But Thora will fancy their chances. And that's a penalty going the other way. Boring in, says referee Dimitra. And that was Disanayaka, the tight head prop, on the side closest to you if you're watching at home, who was accused of boring in. He doesn't agree with the call, but props rarely do. And Kongahawatta, with his left boot, puts the ball into welcome touch for Isipathana. They've been under the cosh since the start of the game. It's been about 6 minutes now they've spent in their 22. And they would dearly love to have a taste of that ball. In fact, it was Deshapriya, the prop, who was penalized. Nicely won by Isipathana. Kongahawatta immediately goes wide to Malka Gunaratna. Lovely offload. Here's ball on the outside for their number 13. That's Rankothge. Rankothge still going. Brought down in a good tackle. This is Jayasinghe. Isipathana. This is the captain, Silva. Gives it to Malka Gunaratna. He seemed to knock it on, but regathered beautifully. Great hands by the wonderful number 8. Quick ball out from Suryarachi. Suryarachi to the other third row man, Dilshan. Dilshan brings it back. The cries of Isipathana have already gone up along Havelock Park. Kongahawatta with the little switch back inside to the number 13. That's Rankothge playing in off the wing. They've brought him into the center position. Seems to be paying dividends. Missing out Omalka. Goes to Dilshan. The ball carrier takes it in. Great continuity now from Isipathana. Kongahawatta standing deep now. He's got his captain outside him. Silva with a strong run. It's available once again. Suryarachi snipes and goes, but good defense on him. Now he's got it once again. The fullback's in the line. This is Silva, the other center. Good defense there by St. Thomas's though. But from an offside position. And referee Dimitra says he's going to have a word. So it was good defense there by the Thora forward. That was Udavatta. And that sends the message though, even though it was from an offside position, it sends the message that they won't be trifled with. But great continuity there from the Isipathana team, showing that they've got talent everywhere on the field. They had their third row men running it into contact. They had Suryarachi clearing it beautifully from the base. And big forwards running off to try and get some space for their brilliant centers. Rankot Gay has moved in from the wing to the centers. That seems to be paying dividends. He didn't touch much of the ball in the centers. And Silva is the other center at number 12. So they've made a few changes. Isipathana Punchiheva coming on at number 11 on the wing. And this is an interesting one. Their number 4, who is actually Dilshan, who's moved from the third row to the second row, seems to be lining this kick up. Because Kongahawat, the regular kicker, has had a pretty average season with the boot. So first time I'm seeing a second row forward taking a kick since John Eales for Australia. And it looks like he's just as good as John Eales is, because it's straight through the posts, and first blood for Isipathana here at Havelock Park. In this much look forward to encounter. Still early doors though. St. Thomas has had a good start, but Isipathana, as soon as they came into the Thomian half, looked very, very dangerous. But all credit to the Thomians, despite some very good attacking play by the Pathana players, they managed not to have their defense, the first line of defense, breached. And that's good work from them so far, considering the season they've been having. That's well done there at the kickoff. St. Thomas is trying to regather and succeeding. It's good ball out, nicely taken in there by Ahangama. In fact, it's De Silva. Ranasinghe clears it this time to his fly half, Ferdinando. And that's a nice kick by the young fly half. It's what bought them dividends last time around, and he seems to be sticking to the plan, which is good to see. St. Thomas's really need to play to their strengths. Ferdinando replacing Hans Walpola at fly half. And the referee saying there was a penalty for offside, so they've brought play back. And the fullback this time, that is Herat, will look to try and find touch. And also win the line-out ball. So that's good touch inside the 22, just inside the 22. Referee Mushtaq, assistant referee Mushtaq raises his flag and signals that it's attacking ball to St. Thomas's. Need to win this ball tidily, as they did last time, the Thomians. As they do, they walk into the line out as a team. Faked at the front, but not won cleanly at the back. So the number 4 jumper this time not doing well as he knocked that ball on. That was Senanayaka. So these are criminal errors, really. You can't afford to concede good ball like that, especially when you've got the penalty and the line out inside the 22. These are the little errors that really cost teams, and St. Thomas's have been guilty of it all throughout this season. Great crowd gathered in here at 6:30 in the evening rather than 4:30 in the evening. Much less hot. Much more people willing to make the trek out. Lots of people can finish their work in peace on a Friday evening and get to the grounds instead of rushing in at halftime. So good to see, but it's not a packed crowd. Lots of Isipathana fans coming in just across the road for them. Although it is a game that is hosted by St. Thomas's. A lot will depend today on Jayatilak, Ahangama and De Silva, the Thomian third row, whether they can stop Umalka Gunaratna. In fact, my apologies, Madhuranga is starting at number 9 for Isipathana and not Surya Rachi. That's a big blow for them, because Surya Rachi has been their playmaker this season. Good scrum by the Thomians, and they won a penalty as a result of it. That's good work. De Silva thought he was away with the number 8 break, but referee Gunasekar had already blown his whistle. And if it's within kicking range, they might look for the points, but instead they've thrown the ball to Herat. And he says, let me find touch again. That's good from the fullback. Finds touch about 7 meters out from the Isipathana line. Another line out, 2 steps to the back, and they'll probably go to number 4 again. This time it's 1, but not cleanly. Referee has his hand up for an advantage. I think it was knocked on by an Isipathana hand. Still with the Thomians. Ranasinghe looks to have a go. De Silva standing at first receiver. Changes the angle nicely, the number 8. It's quick ball again available. Ferdinando. Nice short pass to Hashaka Subasinghe. The captain takes it to ground. But it was knocked on again by an Isipathana hand in defense. And the Thomians are lucky there that it was knocked on, because if that Isipathana defender picked up, there's really nobody behind him. In front of him, rather. Nobody at the back for St. Thomas's, because they were all up there. So it's very important, if you're running these plays, that you've got to have a third row who's covering as a second line of defense. Their primary ball carrier is De Silva in the number 8 jersey, so he can't get around too much. The open side flanker really needs to get where he needs to be. Squirts out from the back. Ferdinando does well to try and regather that, but he's knocked on before. So again, a basic error at scrum time. Good pressure put on by the Isipathana 8. This is going to tell on both teams, though. Both sets of forwards are going to get quite tired, because you can see that it's a pitched battle in the scrum. Neither of them want to give up. And if you go in and push every scrum at 100%, things are always going to get a little bit more difficult later on in the game. And with the bench strength of Isipathana, which is not too good, you have to wonder whether they are not doing themselves a disservice by trying to push hard at every scrum. This is Gunaratna. He's off. Ranasinghe doesn't grab him, makes some ground. Wonderful offload, but doesn't find a hand. Good tackle by the Thomian defender coming in there. This is Gunaratna once again, barging off several defenders. 3 tackles, he breaks and puts his team on the front foot. This is where he's so dangerous. Super tackle once again from the Thomians, though. They look like they're up for it this time. And yes, they're forced a knock on. So an outstanding tackle from De Silva there, doing his bit at number 8. And Gallagher fielding a heavy tackle. Good to see Deshapriya there, going in there and giving Madhuranga a little pat on the back. Good to see the camaraderie between the two teams. Something that is very scarce in this modern day school rugby. Always good to see teams enjoying themselves and a spirit of sportsmanship. More than just the unbridled will to win. Ranasinghe waits for a steady scrum. Good pressure again from Isipathana. They walked this, and they've stolen the ball off the Thomian players. This is a good little breakout on the blind side from Isipathana. The Thomian forwards have all got to get back now. Now it's available. Disanaika, the big prop, takes it forward. Now they've got some quick ball and numbers available on the outside. Silva chooses to go in. Now they've got numbers on the outside. But they choose to go the other way. Umalka Gunaratna, he's their preferred ball carrier. They take him to ground. And now they've got it. The fullback's in the line. Rankotge. Good tackle on him. Good work there by Ferdinando, the fly half, putting in that tackle. This is Darling. Actually, this is Disanaika now. Madhuranga gives it out to Silva. Silva tries to hand his way off through a tackle. But desperate defense from the Thomians. And now they might have turned the ball over. Ranasinghe goes in after it. And yes, they only managed to win that ball by sealing it off. So referee Dimitra Gunasekara right on the spot. And saying that Isipathana left their feet in order to seal that ball. So again, a welcome respite for the Thomians, but Isipathana looks so dangerous with ball in hand. I thought they missed a couple of opportunities without looking left, and that's the experience of Surya Rachi that they're missing here. Clearly out with an injury. The scrum half. And Hera thumping that ball a good 50 meters to gain his team a net of about 30 meters. So St. Thomas's look like they're up for this defensively, but they really need to make a little bit more happen on attack. I think they're going wide too early. They're going into that 13-14 channel without really having the resources out wide. And that's well won by the Thomians. It's a nice run by Jayatilaka. But unfortunately, despite the nice run, he coughs the ball up. And now Silva, the captain, will look to run. Does well. Takes two players with him. And now he's got space. Madhuranga. It's good pace, but Hasaka Supersinger gets his man in the end with a little bit of help from Kasun. And this is Kasun who comes away with the ball now. He's got a try scoring ability, Kasun. And this is Seranayaka. Gives it to Deshapriya. He can't afford to sidestep. He's got to go straight at the man. Ranasinghe now. Ferdinando. This is De Silva who threw the pass out. He didn't need to do that. He should have just taken it into contact. And now here's the other winger, Hena Kankanamge. Hena Kankanamge, and they conceded to Kongawatta. Kongawatta puts the boot in. Now it's a race for the line. Garlage, desperate stuff here. The prop is up there. How did he get there? Madhuranga. Silva, the captain, drops the ball, but it was offside before that. Referee Dimitri has got his arm out. And again, a bad mistake from St. Thomas's, leading to about a 50-meter loss of territory for them. This is Disanayak is over the line. That's a try for the big prop forward. And credit to him, he's been pushing hard in the scrums. He's getting up there with the play. And it's a great try for a hard-working player. St. Thomas's just couldn't regroup. Dimitri Vijayatunga also on the field, obviously helping out with the scrums a little bit. The CRNFC captain-elect. This is Dilshan, the second row, who lines up his second kick of the night. So it's 8 points to nil at the moment for St. Thomas's with the kick to come. Dilshan waits as a hush falls along the ground here. And it's not a good kick at all this time. So it stays at 8 points to nil. And St. Thomas's have not been able to score despite having some good opportunities. Again, the mistake from De Silva, standing in the middle of the line. He needed to take that ball into contact, threw it wide. It was a bad pass. And the thing about this Isipathana team is they're so good. They're like predators, really. Like hyenas who will pounce on any loose ball. And that's exactly what they did. Kongawatta got in there and made a nuisance of himself. So did Garlage, hacked the ball forward. And St. Thomas's were forced to concede the penalty, which led to the try. Herat, that's a good restart from the Pathana team. Well done there. Running it back nicely from the kickoff. Jayatilaka coughs it up. So penalty, says the referee. And they come back for the knock-on, which occurred first. 2 knock-ons. Isipathana have been good in the scrum, especially on defensive ball. They've managed to put real pressure on the Thomian number 8, De Silva, who hasn't responded brilliantly, I must say. He's got to get a little lower than what he's binding at the moment if he's got to have any chance of picking that ball up, but referee Dimitri blows the penalty very quickly, and he'll have a word with Deshapriya here. Captain running in there as well, Hashaka Senanayaka. Can't quite hear what he's saying here as the referees are not mic'd. But he's clearly pointing to the bench, and Deshapriya with a very apologetic nod of the head, an exaggerated nod of the head. Say, I'm sorry sir, I won't do that again ever in my life. Rugby is probably the only game where you find huge men apologizing to men half their size. It's one of the beauties of the game. Kongahawatta this time with his left boot puts the ball into touch. So Isipathana with the attacking line out, and they've got lots of players waiting for this one. They've got Dilshan and Omalka Gunaratna in the line, standing behind Kongahawatta, but that doesn't matter because they've coughed up the ball in the line out. Cardinal error from Isipathana once again, and Ranasinghe will gleefully give it to Ferdinando, who grubbers it unintentionally. But that was a miss by R.R. Silva, the fullback. Difficult ball to take, of course. But I thought the referee could probably have played the advantage and come back to that knock-on from Silva, the fullback. Instead, he's playing the knock-on at the scrum. So Deshapriya here will have to be careful not to give away another penalty. The way he binds, he sometimes can go left, and for a tight head prop, that's a big mistake because you can't afford to bow in. Referee Dimitra having a word with both props, Disanayaka and Deshapriya. That was picked up by De Silva at the back, and Omalka Gunaratna goes in. And he's won his penalty. That's great play from the number 8. He made the tackle, forced the error, and this is where the Thomian third row is really found wanting as Isipathana go at pace once again. Now they've got space on the inside. Gives it back to the try scorer Disanayaka, who's brought down in a good tackle. But this prop forward is really making inroads. Nice offload by the captain Silva. This is the other Silva. There's quite a few Silvas in this side. Is he over? Almost at the line. Yes, he's over. An outstanding run from the center three-quarter. Watch it again here. Superb continuity from Isipathana. This is Silva, steps in, steps out, and his momentum takes him over. He wasn't held in the tackle. And referee Dimitra right on the spot to award that try. So Herath really needs to do a little bit better one-on-one. But you can't blame the boy too much because his defense in front of him didn't do much either. Once again, a mistake from De Silva, the number 8. I'd hate to think I'm picking on him, but his mistakes are leading to tries. He conceded the penalty to Omalka Gunaratna there. You've got to stay on your feet, mate, and allow your scrum half or at least your third row forwards to get to where you are. Very slow to react, the St. Thomas's third row. That is, as I was saying, Jayatilaka and Ahangama, very slow to react to their number 8's pick up and go. So the Isipathana flanker was able to make the tackle. Omalka Gunaratna, the number 8, was able to stand over him and force the penalty for holding on. And Dilshan has another kick from almost the identical spot where he missed the earlier conversion and aims to try and make a 13-0 lead, 15. That's a much better kick. Kavindu De Costa standing by Dilshan this time while he took the kick with the kicking tee. Might have been a little bit more help than Dimitri was, because that was straight and true, and a good kick from the big flanker turn second row. And it has been all Isipathana on the scoreboard. St. Thomas's have shown some flashes of promise, but not enough to get on the board as yet. So Herat, the fullback, kicks off once again. He's done it a few times, must be getting a bit tired of it already. And this is Omalka Gunaratna, the star player for Isipathana, tries to get the offload going. It went backwards and Herat will collect it, but knock it on. Good pressure on him by the little number 11, Punchiheva, coming into the side and wanting an opportunity to make his presence felt. So good chase from him off the hack forward from Rankutge. But Umalka Gunaratna once again really creating havoc in the defensive line. That's good work in the scrum from the Thomians. Now he's having a chat to the other prop on the other side, and that's a yellow card. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's really harsh. But the referee had spoken to them and he'd given them warnings, and he said, look, this is what I don't want. And the prop, Disanayaka, he scored a try already. So he'll be thankful for the rest because he's had a storming first half. But the Isipathanians will be greatly weakened by that loss. It's a very important player for them. So St. Thomas's finally trying to get some points on the board. Herat lines up this kick. It's a longish kick, about 35 meters, and for schoolboys that's pretty much at the end of their range unless you're exceptional. But it's not too far out and it's on the correct sort of angle for him, but he's missed it out to the side, onto the right side. But they will now have to face a 22-meter kickoff. St. Thomas's have to score before half-time. The good thing about this Isipathana team, though, is that they haven't gone to sleep like they used to in previous games. Get an early lead and then relax. That's something that hasn't happened. Kasun really needs to get up and catch that ball on the full. He's made a good run so far. Bang! Straight into him goes the number 6 for Isipathana. That's Bandara. And now we've got Senanayaka in the line at first receiver. Probably not the place for him. Ferdinando takes it in. Ranasinghe looks for the ball, but it's untidy. And now the Herat, the fullback, is in the line. Still managed to hang on to it. That's better play from St. Thomas's. Deshapriya loses the ball, but loses it backwards, fortunately for his team. But now they've stolen it like pickpockets have Isipathana. Beautifully done there by Silva, but stolen back once again on the floor by the Thomian forwards. And now Herat looks for the space. And Kongahawatta can't get to the ball before the bounce of it beats him into touch. So that's good thinking by Herat. He's proved to be one of the better thinkers in this side. Doesn't get too ruffled. keeps calm and puts the ball into touch when he needs to. Need to have someone controlling the play because the fly half is inexperienced. But they really need to get a bit more going from Sajid Jayatilaka, their number 6, third row forward. And Ahangam also the other flanker. That's overthrown by Isipathana. And Jayatilaka manages to win this ball. He's doing some good work in the tight, but speed is an issue for the Thomian third row. Isipathana trying to run themselves out of trouble here. Gunaratna well driven back in a tackle there. It was an outstanding tackle. Serenayaka it was. And Kongahawatta off his left boot under pressure, doesn't find touch. And that was superb following up work by Punchiheva. Won the ball but then got bundled into touch. So good rugby all around. Good pressure on the kicker. Kongahawatta got it away. And Kasun, although he collected it, had good discipline to leave the ball on the floor. Punchiheva collected it, and then after that, it was good follow-up defense by the Thomian team. So De Silva throwing the ball into the line out. Serenayaka wins it nicely that time. Ranasinghe. Ferdinando has to stop, and Hashaka Serenayaka takes it in the middle. Good run from the captain, the first real dangerous run we've seen from him. Ferdinando now. Serenayaka trying to get outside the big man Darling. He should have done better than that. Ferdinando now gives it to Ranasinghe. They swap places, the fly half and the scrum half. That's clearly offside. It's knocked forward. And St. Thomas's, instead of having a penalty, will have a scrum. Somians have got V. Pereira in their forward pack at hooker. So we've seen Gunasekara go off. Maybe that may make a difference to the scrum, we never know. They've kept, they haven't brought in a replacement, Isipathana. They've kept their composition the same, even though Disanayaka has gone off. They've moved another one of their players into the front row position. Umalka Gunaratna going to flanker. De Silva once again goes without any help. Lucky to get that ball back this time, and Hashaka Serenayaka takes it on a nice angle. But superb defense by the Isipathana captain. That's a nice kick by Ferdinando. This is for Kankanamge to run on to. And Hena Kankanamge doesn't have the pace to get to that ball. Ferdinando had the right idea, just poor execution there. Probably needed to put the ball a little bit higher, wait it a little bit more for his winger to run onto. But the idea was right, and that's better than just a bad idea all along. So now they've got a defensive line out, Isipathana, and St. Thomas's will look to try and capitalize on this, put some pressure on them, but well won at the front by the Isipathana captain, Silva. A nice little mini drive there from them. They're still going, relieving the pressure on their fly half. Kongahawatta gets it on his wrong side. And well taken there by Hena Kankanamge. But a good chase as well by Gallage on the opposite wing. And hands in the ruck means that that chase from Gallage has won his team a good 35 meters. Because Kongahawatta got absolutely clattered as he kicked that ball. But a nice chase from Gallage means that he won his team a penalty, putting Hena Kankanamge, the receiver, under tremendous pressure. Kongahawatta has recovered from that clattering, which was late, but nothing really too much in it. It's good to see the referee just playing on in those situations. And now Isipathana in 2 kicks have moved 65 meters up the field and have the ball. Again, good work from Silva at the number 2 position. The ball is available now for Maduranga. Here he is again, Kongahawatta now. Good rush defense from St. Thomas's, but they've got a man over here. Gallagher moving on to the opposite wing, but he loses the ball forward. He's done a lot of work to come all the way from the right wing to get involved in that play. But unfortunately for him, he lost the ball. So Mushtaq, the linesman on the far side, has walked onto the field. It's just off your screen. He's walked onto the field to have a word with the ref. Not exactly sure what he's saying. He's seen something on the far side, obviously. That's Mushtaq and referee Dimitri Gunasekara having a word, giving his recommendations to the ref, conveying what he's seen. This is good communication. The referee says time off, and that's a signal for time off, just in case you're wondering what it's about. And he calls Silva, the Isipathana captain, so one of the Pathana players in a little bit of trouble here. So that's a pretty stern talking to. He points to the bench once again, the referee, saying, next time anyone does anything like that, you're off. And he moves the penalty back to where the line-out was. So referee Mushtaq, assistant referee Mushtaq, obviously saw something happening in that line-out that wasn't supposed to happen. And St. Thomas's will be thankful to get back into the Pathana half as half-time approaches. The Thomians really need to get some points on the board before the half-time whistle blows. That'll be a good morale booster for them. They're not out of this game, though. They've played well without any joy. And Isipathana have played tremendously well to get these 15 points on the board. But it's been a very physical affair. It's been a fast-paced affair. Credit to referee Gunasekara for letting it go as well. And Serenayake at that time under pressure in the line out. Isipathana come away with it. Romalko Gunaratna stepping out of a tackle. That's a beautiful leg drive. He has the number 8. Maduranga. Now the big man in the line. That's a superb hands from Silva. Silva to... Oh, that's an outstanding pass. Punchiheva is trying to go all the way, but good defense in the end by Kasun. Superb rugby from Isipathana. They contested the line out, won it. Then they had Silva, who gave an outstanding pass to Rankotge, who gave an even better pass inside to Gallage. And that was superb play from the Isipathana team, and some last gasp defensive work from Kasun prevented the try for Punchiheva. Already one of the players down with cramp for the Thomians. That's not unsurprising. It's been a very, very physical half. Lots of lateral work for both defenses, mainly the Thomians, because Isipathana have been running at them hard and fast. Deshapriya, the big prop, who's down with cramp, can certainly sympathize with that. St. Thomas's winning that defensive line out. They won't want to concede another try before the half. Serenayake does well. Ranasinghe now under pressure is the fly half Ferdinando. He does the smart thing. In fact, it's Hashaka Serenayake at first receiver. Does the smart thing and goes to ground. That's Udawatta. Carries it forward. Now they'll clear it. That's not good work by the Isipathana winger. In fact, it's Kongahavatta who dropped that ball, and Kasun getting involved in an exchange of pleasantries that didn't really need to happen. He's been playing well, Kasun. Nice and aggressive, but he's got to keep it channeled within the game. As referee Dimitra Gunasekara blows for half-time. So it was a good defensive effort there just before the half ended for St. Thomas's. That will give them some confidence, and at 15 points to nil, they're not nearly out of it as yet. Referee Gunasekara having a small chat with both captains. That's Silva in the number 7 jersey for Isipathana and Hashaka Senanayaka in the number 13 jersey for the Thomians. As both teams go into the huddle, it's 15 points to nil at halftime here. St. Thomas's College hosting Isipathana, the title favourites and the only unbeaten team so far in the league. And we'll be back with second half action on www.thepapare.com, sharing the passion of the Singer Schools League with you right till the 80th minute. We'll be back in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the live coverage of this game between St. Thomas's and Isipathana. St. Thomas's playing in the blue jerseys, of course, from right to left on your screen. And they've conceded a 15-0 lead to this Isipathana side. Some harsh words from Coach Grant Dwyer, definitely, judging from the animation in the huddle. But that doesn't stop Umalka Gunaratna going a little bit laterally, but still taking plenty of defenders with him. And Kongahavatta, who's very much a one-footed player, uses his left boot nicely to gain 40 meters for his side. It's the first line out of the second half. We'll go to St. Thomas's, and they will have to do a little bit better than they did in the first half. Udavatta faking and Senanayaka going up for it. Good ball, but badly given to Ferdinando. Ferdinando steps well. Haven't seen him have a run, but he looks like he's got the goods. It's available now for Ranasinghe. Ranasinghe gives it to the number 8, De Silva. Steps out of a tackle nicely. That's better from the Thomian team. Ranasinghe now looks for Herath. Herath switching direction. He's got some space. Stays on his feet nicely. But good aggressive defense by the Isipathana team. And Deshapriya drops it cold in the face. Oh, that's a good kick forward. This is Darling. Is he going to go for the try? Almost got to the ball before the winger did the prop. But good work by Henakan Kanamge and Kasun to get back. And St. Thomas's do wonderfully well to recover from that. And Herath puts a superb kick in. But again, St. Thomas's just losing the ball in contact, really not doing themselves any favors at all. But did well to recover, and this is a much more gutsy game from the Thomians than we've seen in the recent past. But Isipathana clearly the better side with ball in hand. And you can see how much they want it when you've seen prop forwards chasing a kick ahead with that much enthusiasm. And here's another one, the try scorer Disanayaka. Kongahavatta gives it to his big ball carrier Umalka Gunaratna, who comes in on the angle. But St. Thomas's have him well marked as possible. Offside, says referee Dimitra Gunasekara, and he's right. St. Thomas's nowhere near the last foot there. And Umalka Gunaratna takes it quickly, runs at Kasun. Kasun puts in a nice low tackle, but he gets up and goes again, does Gunaratna. Manages to find the ball inside to Rankotge. But a good tackle on him by Sachita Jayatilaka. And not 10 meters, says the referee. I thought that was a little bit harsh because Gunaratna seemed to have run the 10 before Kasun tackled him. And Madhuranga taking that ball forward a few inches. A sneaky little scrum half that he is. And he gives it to his captain. Silva dummies on the inside. Manages to grab another couple of yards. And now Disanayaka looking for his second try. He's over! That was easy, does it? Disanayaka, the prop forward, with his second try of the game, tells the Thomians what he thinks about it as well. And that try was made there by Silva, the captain here. He dummied on the inside. That meant he got past the first defender, and by the time the second defender came in, there was oodles of space. And Disanayaka won't score an easier try than that, with Columbage on his back, his front row buddy, pushing him over. So this is a try where Umalka Gunaratna has been outscored by Disanayaka, the prop. He won't like that. Sure, he'll be very happy about it, but he won't like being outscored by a prop forward. So you might see him coming through in the second half and showing us what he can do, and that will be curtains for the Thomians. But early concession of points once again. And it's 20 points to 0 to the green shirts, playing a stone's throw away from the school. Dilshan entrusted with the kicking duties ahead of Kongahawatta, who has had a very average season with the boots so far. Dilshan, the flanker, who's playing at second row today. Takes a few deep breaths before he attempts his kick. All have been on the left side of the field, so chips it nicely and it's over. It's a good kick by Dilshan. This has been outstanding play from Isipathana so far. Very, very good decision making. They know exactly what to do and when to do it. And St. Thomas's seem just a little bit blown away by the professionalism of this Isipathana team. Herath puts a nice high kick in. And Omalka Gunaratna lucky with the bounce. Now he's got one man to beat. Ranasinghe beats him easily. Herath brings him down. That's good tackle from the fullback, who has been outstanding today. The best player for St. Thomas's. Gallage from the right wing finally gets a run. Madhuranga gives it to the try scorer. He's looking for his hat-trick, this Anayaka. Here's Madhuranga again to his captain, who stands at first receiver. This is Darling, the other big prop forward. Madhuranga looks for his fly half Kongahawatta. Dummies and goes into contact. It's available. It's a good clean ball this for Columbage now. Referee says play on, and that's good refereeing. Silva was in front of his player, but absolutely no obstruction there. Kongahawatta almost gets away, and Madhuranga felled in a tackle by Udawatta. This is Darling. Darling fighting off his opposite number, Deshapriya. And Madhuranga now instructs his captain to take it tight. That's what they'll do. They'll double up. This is what I was talking about, the decision making. They know exactly what to do in which part of the field. Reading what's in front of them nicely, and that's not a good pass to Gunaratne. It was above and behind him. And St. Thomas's have a chance to get a little aggressive on the defense. But still a nice little snipe. And this is Punchi Heva, who loses the ball. And St. Thomas's go in after it. They've managed to snaffle that one. It's a loose pass to Gunaratne, meaning that St. Thomas's now come away with it. And Hashaka Senanayaka puts the ball straight down the throat of Silva. Silva finds the inside ball to Gallage. Gallage now steps in and out of one tackle. Looks like he's going to go all the way. See, Gallage finds the inside ball. That's an outstanding pass. That is an absolutely superb pass from Gallage to Rankotge. And Rankotge touches down just by the side, under the post actually. We saw that combination working earlier. Rankotge gave a beautiful inside pass to Gallage, and this time it was Gallage who returned the favor, and Rankotge managed to score from that. It was absolutely outstanding piece of running. Picked up the loose ball, and there was no stopping him after that. Super work from the little winger. And Rankotge finishing off a superb try from the Isipathana side. A fantastic counter-attacking try. Dilshan with his easiest kick of the night so far. Kasun is never going to die trying. He tries to charge that one down, but no luck. And St. Thomas's facing a substantial deficit here, 29 points to 0. And Isipathana have deserved every single point of this 29 points that they put on the board. Playing an outstanding brand of rugby. And despite being up against a big forward pack, have been really very, very good. Good high kick from Herath. Well recovered there by Udavatta. Ranasinghe now gives it to De Silva. De Silva met in good defense by the Isipathana captain, Silva, in the headband. Ferdinando. That's Isa Ibrahim who's come on. Son of national coach Ronnie Ibrahim. And St. Thomas is looking a little bit better now with Deshapriya not spilling the ball that time in contact. Ranasinghe. Ferdinando is very slow the way he passes that ball out, but Isa putting Silva under a little bit of pressure. Got to make the tackle here. Isa gets in and makes the tackle off his own kick. And now Isipathana for the first time under a little bit of pressure since the opening minutes of the game. But they come away with the ball. That's outstanding work from them. It's the number 6, Bandara. The Isipathana third row has worked really hard. No doubt Shamli Nawaz, an outstanding third row forward himself, has done a lot of work with these guys. They're very intelligent running angles, very intelligent on defense, and managed to get the ball away. So for the first time since the opening 5 minutes of play, Isipathana finding themselves defending in their own 22. Just goes to show that St. Thomas's just haven't been able to get any ball or any continuity to attack this Isipathana line. And they go short once again to Dissanayake at the front of the line out. It's a money ball for them. They need make sure they have to win it. And Kongahavatta puts in a nice kick. Herath takes it well though. This is Henakan Kanamge. It's well done by Herath and his winger. That's Isa Ibrahim. Gives a nice ball out to Hashaka Senanayaka. And that's a terrible pass right at the bootlaces of Kasun. And he knocks it forward. So that's been the story of St. Thomas's evening. There and thereabouts, but just can't find the last ball or the last two balls. Got to feel sorry for Henakan Kanamge there, who dropped that ball, not Kasun. And the little man, Madhuranga, who has stepped in for one of his very good senior players, Surya Rachi. Referee giving a free kick for the early shove there, and Omalka Gunaratna, as predicted, goes off with it. He's running laterally, but it doesn't matter because he's beaten almost everyone. Finally, St. Thomas is getting across for the tackle. Still with the ball, the Pathana players, and now breaking away with it. Breaking away through so many tackles was Pereira, the second rower. And now Silva. Silva finding Dilshan now, the two third rowers combining. Silva, this is the other Silva of the fullback, and now Madhuranga steps in, steps out. Last ditch defense, and this is Silva once again. Super defense there from St. Thomas's. But the floodgates are just about to open, I feel, if they haven't already. That's because these Tomians are lying on the ground. They haven't got an ounce of gas left in their tank, I think, because they've just been chasing and tackling all game. And this Isipathana team are on absolute fire here. Have a point to prove against this Pathana side, against this Tomian side. Coming back after a nice long rest after the Wesley game, showing that They really are the team to be beaten in the Singer Schools League. Outstanding with ball in hand. All their players so dangerous. And they seem to have managed to get the continuity which they lacked earlier. Seem to rely almost exclusively on Surya Rachi and Gunaratna. But I think even with the absence of Surya Rachi, the ball goes out a little bit more. He doesn't keep the ball with him as much, Madhuranga. So he's always looking for his runners. And that has made a difference for them. So they might even be playing, and dare I say this, they might even be playing better rugby without Surya Rachi, better as a team. Watch for Gunaratna. He'll line up the right side of the field as St. Thomas's make a substitution here. In fact, it's a return from injury, I think. Not steady in the front rows. And again conceding a free kick, and Umalka Gunaratna needs no second invitation. Just brought back, and Silva will dive over. That's a try for the captain, and he's deserved it, he has. Silva, outstanding game he's had in defense as well as leading this side and carrying the ball in offense. This has been a superlative performance by this Isipathana team, and we are only in the 10th minute or the 11th minute of the second half. This could very much be a 50-pointer for this Tomian side. And Wesley, who went down only by a few points to the same Isipathana team, must be thinking, what the heck are we doing in the Plate Championship? Organizers of the schools tournament probably need to take note of the disparity between the teams in the top 8, and the fact that a team like Wesley, due to this format, had to go down is really unfortunate. As Dilshan lines up a kick again, which he must be now very comfortable with. So it's 34 points to nil in favor of Isipathana. And from a Tomian perspective, it doesn't really matter too much that Isipathana have scored 34 points because they've deserved every single one of them. What will be problematic for St. Thomas's is the fact that they haven't been able to score any tries themselves. Or actually, forget scoring tries, getting any points on the board. Despite the fact that it's been completely one-sided, though, it's been a really good game of rugby. We see some great skills on both sides. St. Thomas's have defended in the last gasp very well. There's been some exciting tackles made. As Dilshan, who put that last conversion over, or missed that last conversion. Takes the ball well, and Kasun is under tremendous pressure by Rankotke. That's an outstanding chase by the Isipathana team. They know when the kick is coming and they're into their stride. But a little bit of indiscipline letting them down there. It's the first penalty they've conceded in a while. Referee Dimitri Gunasekara has really let the game flow nicely. It's been good for Isipathana as well, because they like to play a nice, fast, open game. One there in the front for St. Thomas's. Ferdinando gives it to his captain, who is well tackled by R.R. Silva, who has moved into the first line of defense from fullback. Ranasinghe shoes Dissanayake out of his way, and Sachita Jatilaka has his first carry of the second half. De Silva gives it to Ranasinghe on the loop. And Kasun is absolutely smashed into touch, trying to play a little bit too much rugby without any space. And once again, the money ball to Dissanayake at the front of the line out. I'm surprised St. Thomas's aren't covering that a little better. And once again, a great chase on. Kasun again under tremendous pressure, coughs the ball up under that pressure. A super chase by Punchiheva on the far touchline. Dilshan now. St. Thomas's still manning up in defense, it has to be said. They haven't got demoralized by the scoreboard, and Rankutge wriggles away from his opposite number, Hashika Senanayake. And Silva, the captain, once again finds the ball to Kongahawatta. Kongahawatta to Gallage, and now Kongahawatta again. He steps out of a tackle, and Herat misses him. That's an embarrassing miss, and the little fly half, Kongahawatta, breezing in under the posts. That was shocking defense, just as I was talking about St. Thomas's, who had been defending pretty well in the last ditch. They were outstanding. That ball was missed by Kongahawatta. It went to Gallage behind him, and Gallage drew the defense nicely and managed to pass to Kongahawatta again, who had a tremendous awareness. And he stepped wrong-footed two defenders and breezed in under the post. A nice 50-meter try almost for this Isipathana side. And if they play rugby of this quality, I think they will be very, very difficult to beat, even for the likes of Kingswood and St. Peter's. That conversion is good, as it was expected to be. Dilshan has had a good day with the boots today. The flanker turned second row, turned place kicker. And for the first time in this game, St. Thomas's have shown a little bit of a reluctance to come to this kickoff. And you can expect that now. They've taken a battering for about an hour now with nothing on the board. And that must be a little difficult. Herat has been kicking off really well. Outstanding hanging kick that he has. Hena Kankanamge goes up and concedes a knock-on. But Isipathana have the advantage and the ball. Maduranga. Kongahawatta again putting the pressure on Kasun. That's a lovely chase by Punchiheva now, but he's knocked it on. But you can see how intelligently they are putting that ball behind the Thomian three-quarters, forcing that big forward pack to come from the left touchline to the right touchline and run backwards. It's very, very intelligent play, and you can see that this Isipathana coaching staff, who've got so many national players on it, they've got Dinesh Kumara who's involved, they've got Kavindu De Costa, they've got Lasintha De Costa, they've got Anuranga Walpola, and they've got Shehan Dimitri Vijayatunga, who also helps Nilufer Ibrahim. So they've got really a lot of ideas on the bench there. They've got a lot of people with a lot of experience and a lot of exposure to high quality coaching. And that's really making the difference. You can see this Isipathana team have a plan in every zone. They know who's going to be doing what. and their responsibilities are well executed. The kicker can kick, but it doesn't matter if the chasers don't chase. And that is the discipline that we've seen. And given how bad their line-out was when we started the season, they've made the changes. They brought Columbage in at hooker, and that has tremendously improved their line-out. And it just shows that they're getting better week in, week out. And maybe this is a result. This performance is a result of the 2-week break they've had. But we'll see how well that sorts itself out as we see the new number 8 for St. Thomas's making a break. That's the first real break that has been made by the Thomians in this second half. Senanayaka to Isa Ibrahim. And another terrible pass from Hashaka Senanayaka. Hena Kankanamge didn't knock that on. But they do cough the ball up, and Kongahawatta with the high up and under. He knows that St. Thomas's are vulnerable, but Herat does really well. He's been the best player for St. Thomas's in this match so far. And Ferdinando drops the ball cold with absolutely no need for that drop. Columbage with a bit of a swinging arm, but nothing in it. You can see how well that up and under from Kongahawatta has worked. Isipathana have brought Padmasanka on in place of Gallage, who was suffering from cramp, and there's absolutely no need to risk him now with this scoreline. Isipathana will be having their eye on the half-century margin. Good scrum by St. Thomas's, but Gunaratna does well. Manages to get the ball away. That was beautiful work from Umaka Gunaratna. It's not just his running, it's not just his strength or his speed. It's his ability to commit 3 defenders and still manage to get the ball away that makes him such a special player. Still going. He's got his trousers around his knees, but he's still running. Knocked backwards, says referee Gunasekara rather. Kongahawatta nicely changing the angle there for Rankotge. Rankotge looking like he might go all the way. Well bundled down by De Silva in the end. And St. Thomas's look like they've managed to turn this ball over, thankfully for them. And Isa Ibrahim puts a boot to it, and here's Padmasanka, the new man on the field, might run laterally to score a try all on his own, and Kongahawatta dummies, and he's over. The little fly half leaves De Silva for dead. That was an outstanding bit of play from him. You watch it here. Padmasanka swings the ball out to Kongahawatta. He's got one man to beat, and in fact it was Kasun. Can't blame him because he had a man outside him, but still you've got to take the ball carrier every time, mate. And there was no chance of stopping the speedy little fly half at that angle. So 46 points is what it reads at the moment, with a conversion to come. And they've got 12 minutes to try and reach the 50-point mark with 2 points. This has been a really outstanding display of attacking rugby by Isipathana. Can't say I've seen a better team performance than this since St. Peter's beat St. Thomas's by 40-odd points. I thought that was a good team performance, but this has surpassed that by a long way because St. Thomas's are actually playing a lot better today than they did that day. They're defending much better, their set piece is much better, but still Isipathana have had the quality right from 1 through to 14, or 15 rather, to score these points. So they're bringing on the changes now. They've made a change at prop, St. Thomas's. It's a nice kickoff once again from Herath, but penalty conceded by playing the ball in front of the knock-on. And Isa Ibrahim, who didn't start the game, has obviously got a bad hamstring. Puts the ball into touch. So it looks like the skipper himself is off for St. Thomas's. So Ibrahim has come in place of Hashaka Senanayaka. Herath has moved into the center position. And here's Disanayaka. Lovely offload. Good hands from Dilshan. Dilshan to Silva, the center. Finds space outside. This is Rankotge, who's run havoc today. Silva. This is Silva, the captain. Inside ball. Got runners everywhere on both shoulders now. And this is Silva at first receiver. That's not a good pass. But the referee says it was offside. And Dilshan knows that that error was not an unforced one. And Dilshan looks to go once again. It looks like it's going to go all the way. Oh, that's easy, does it? They didn't want to know, the Thomians. That was embarrassing. He's never going to score an easier try than that. And now it's just become a rout. The Thomian supporters are leaving. In fact, they started leaving with about half an hour left. Now they're going in their hordes. If you're a Thomian supporter watching this, this is embarrassing stuff. And I think even Dilshan, who scored that try and will now try to convert it, will feel a little bad about how easy that was. You want to score a try where people try to tackle you, but he would have been thinking, I don't want to score this try. Nobody's even tried to stop me. This has been a stunning performance by the Isipathana side. Completely at ease with the ball in hand. They've got support players popping up everywhere. They've got options on both sides for the ball carrier. Their passing has been deadly accurate. And their offloads have been well timed and executed perfectly. And despite scoring that try, Dilshan can't convert his own try. He's converted plenty of others. He's converted 4 tries this evening of the 8 tries that Isipathana have scored. But it's going to be a long, long few minutes now until the final whistle. We've got about nearly 10 minutes to go. I'm sure referee Dimitra will have a bit of sympathy and blow this up without playing too much injury time. Especially now since the 50-point margin has been passed. And Herath, this has been the best feature of the Thomian play so far today. That the kicking off of Herath has been really good. He's had plenty of practice today, I'll tell you that much. And Isipathana still don't look like they're letting up on the intensity. R.R. Silva, the fullback. It's looking a bit of a lost cause at the moment for the Thomians. You can see they're just going through the motions. De Silva, one at the front of the line out. And that's a good carry forward by the number 21. That's De Silva, SM De Silva for St. Thomas's. Ranasinghe goes in after it. De Silva gives it to his second row, who loses the ball, and this is going to be a race to the line. And it's going to be won. It's going to be won by Punchiheva. That's going to be the... Oh, what an outstanding try. Punchiheva beating Henakan Kanamge to the line. He had a head start, the young lad. And you can see this has been a complete performance from Isipathana. Why? Because you've had a prop who've scored 2 tries. You've had your second rows, you've had your flankers who've scored tries, you've got your fly half who scored tries, you've got your center who scored tries, and you've got your wingers who've scored tries. So it really has been an outstanding team performance from the Isipathana side, showing exactly why they are the team to be beaten in 2014. Sure, if the Trinitians are watching this, if Kingswood are watching this, if St. Peter's are watching this, then they will be very, very afraid. Dilshan has a chance to get 10 points in the game just as a kicker. He's got 10 points already. He put a penalty over as well. So this is for his 15 points, but that's not good enough. Isa Ibrahim walking up to the referee and asking him how much time is left. I'm sure he wishes it was fewer minutes than he was told, whatever it may be. Think they've got about 4 minutes left. And Herath with a lovely kick taken by Desatha. Wants to get in on the action. Madhuranga. Lovely little step by the new man on the field. That's Vikramaratna in the fly half position now. This is Desatha. Desatha running straight into the little scrum half. SJK Pereira, the scrum half, who got absolutely battered by Desatha there, the reserve hooker for Isipathana. And now we've got Disanayaka, who's tired and coughs the ball up, but only because St. Thomas's were offside. It's good hands. Silva goes to ground, but makes the ball available. Running around is a replacement prop. Madhuranga to Desatha again. It's a high tackle on him by Deshapriya, who's played manfully throughout this whole game. In fact, it's not Deshapriya, it's Rupasinghe. St. Thomas is conceding the penalty again. They won't mind that. This will slow the game down. Quick ball once again to Silva, who's found himself at first receiver more often than not. It's a clear plan as Padma Kumara goes to ground, the reserve winger, on in place of the try-scoring Galage. Here's Punchiheva, who scored that 60-meter try just a few moments ago. Surprising to see all the Thomian junior teams with blue and black stripes on their jerseys. As Silva goes over for a try. It's his second try of the evening. He's deserved that one as well. Silva really has been outstanding today. I thought he's been very good all season, but today's been his best game because he's won the ball at the front of the line out. He's made some tremendous hits defensively. He's packed down on the blind side of the scrum. He's found himself at first receiver. He's carried the ball a lot, and he's scored 2 tries. I think this has been a complete performance from Silva. An outstanding performance really from the captain. He's led from the front, and his team have responded. Dilshan trying to convert his captain's try. Really has been an outstanding performance. I can't really say it enough times. And that's the end of the game. My watch says 41 minutes, and with injury time there's probably a few more to play. But I think referee Dimitra Gunasekara, alongside everyone in the crowd gathered here at Havelock Park today, felt sorry for the Thomians, and that's 60 points. An outstanding display of attacking rugby from Isipathana. St. Thomas is unable to get a point on the board. 60 points to nil is how it finishes here. 61 points to nil, in fact, is how it finishes here at Havelock Park. It's a dark day for Thomian rugby, but it really has set up Isipathana as the front runners for this league title. An outstanding performance from 1 through to 15. Everybody contributed, everybody scored tries, everybody made tackles. It really was a superb, complete team performance from the Isipathana side, and it has been an absolute pleasure to watch them. 61 points to nil doesn't mean it wasn't a competitive game. St. Thomas's fought manfully, but they were just too good, the Green Machine, and that's how it ends. 61 points to nil in favor of the Isipathana side, who remain unbeaten in this Singer Schools League. We've shared the passion with you here on www.thepapare.com. Join us for the other live games this weekend as we bring them all to you from the A Division. Until next week, keep it locked to thepapare.com, and we'll bring you our games tomorrow as well. Don't forget that you will be able to watch those live streaming here on our website as well. So keep it locked here for all the Singer Rugby League action from the schools arena.